You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Good day to you, sir.
And right back at you, John Heidi. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
Well, I'm sure you may already know, and you've already gotten a designated driver for the day. It is Jim Henson's birthday.
Oh, I love
He
Jim
brought the
Henson.
world the Muppets.
I need to apologize. Yesterday on the radio program, I had interviewed Mr. Alien from Alien and Company, and I referred to Heidi's butt Muppets on the radio. I took some people by surprise saying butt Muppets.
Okay, see, John, you can't just throw that out there assuming people know what we're talking about.
She has tattoos of the Muppets on her butt.
Thank you.
Not on my butt.
It's close enough.
I'm sitting right here. Heidi has some strategically placed tattoos celebrating
Jim Henson.
some of the
Yes, I
better-known
do.
members of the Muppet Clan.
And some that most people have never even heard of.
And yet she's never hired for children's birthdays. Be a nice little side hustle.
Butt Muppet
would.
Show.
Make him dance.
Wow. Kevin Sorbo, who you've had the honor
Yes,
to
twice.
interview a couple of times. John
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo, of course, famous for the TV series Hercules.
Yeah.
Here
From
you go.
Minnesota.
He's from Mound, Minnesota. I used to play against their hockey team. Maybe I played against him if he played, because he's 62.
Yeah, you probably whooped his tail a few times.
It was about the same age. So, yeah, let's see what else is going on. Love this guy. He did so many, many great comic characters over the years. Phil Hartman.
I
Oh,
miss Phil.
yeah. Gosh, I remember when
What
he
a
died
terrible
like it was
tragedy
yesterday.
that was.
You may not know his wife kind of flipped out and actually killed him in his sleep. That was, in 1998.
Yeah.
But he actually got into the spotlight primarily Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He played Captain Carl.
I remember that.
There you go, along with Lawrence Fishburne as Cowboy Curtis. Everybody got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
There you go. It was 1968, 60 Minutes, which was very cutting edge for its day. 60 Minutes premieres on CBS.
Okay.
The prime anchors Mike Wallace and Harry Reisner.
Only primetime news show without a theme song. They have the little...
Yep, a little tick, 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 still doing it to this day. 1964, The Munsters premieres.
They
that
did
was
have a theme song.
You know, there were
Fantastic show.
Anybody watching? Because I watched it growing up, and even as a kid, I'm going, okay, I get it, but what's with this Marilyn person?
Yeah.
Who looks perfectly normal. The blonde girl who
She
just
was
lived in the
adopted.
house, and there were actually two Marilyns.
Yeah,
First
I
one
did
was Pat Priest. She was replaced later on by Beverly Owen, who was out of Ottumwa, Iowa. So. There you go.
I loved her, though. It was always so funny. They always made her feel like she was the freak in the family. And
Yeah,
she was like, it's because I'm ugly. Then everybody runs away. But it was because as soon as they would see the rest of her family, the boyfriends would take off running. It was hilarious.
Dr. Phil would have had a heyday with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
1977, The Love Boat set sail on
that show,
ABC.
too.
And again, things you notice, because here's this big, beautiful luxury cruise liner, which, a couple thousand people are on board this thing, and we can take. And if you've ever been on a cruise ship, and I have, there are multiple places to get yourself wet your little whistle there. Little bars. One bartender, Isaac. That's it. Whole ship, one bartender. And I don't care what bar you're walking in. There's Isaac. It's like, this dude is like magic.
He's a busy dude, man. He's working for the tips, Dan. He's working for the tips.
Unbelievable. So there you go. I know now. You know, we all know, and let's just crash this thing.
That sounds like a blast to me. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
Jobs.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Yeah, snappy salute on the old brim of the Ranger Dan Captain. You two little snuggle bugs. You, Brad, you're looking average. Heidi!
Ranger Dan.
Whoa, Heidi! Oh, lose the broom, baby. You already swept me off my feet. Yeah, little Radio Rangers, the pheasant hunt is a-coming, and I'll tell you what, I've been inundated with inquiries.
I bet you have.
Inundated, gotta be thousands, if not hundreds, probably dozens. There's been exactly 2.
I'm one of the 2.
Both these Ranger Dan fan inquiries have to do with the bag limits for the pheasant hunt this year.
Okay.
There's been a little bit of confusion. Now, my brown-shirted buddies, the Game, Fish, and Parks Department, did put a commission together, and that commission ultimately decided to retain the daily bag limit of 3 birds as opposed to 4. They were thinking about 4, but they did spread out the season. There's going to be a couple.
Okay.
Is that for
weeks
social distancing reasons?
Tacked on to that. Hang on, I'm
So
gonna
that's
read
per
what the
day.
commission came up with it. That's 3 birds per day and up to
Per day.
15 for the whole.
Okay.
You know, let's make this real simple because, again, it just sounds confusing. It really does. Here's the situation. You're going for the pheasant hunt. You've done your due diligence. You've stocked up on the right clothes, the right supplies, the ammunition. You've cleaned your weapons. Perhaps you purchased a new weapon. That ain't free, goodness gracious me, unless it's a Savage series. Those things are junk.
Wow. That's savage.
Now then, when you get out in the field, it's a good chance that you, your buddies, maybe you got a dog along, or that dog is well trained. That dog wasn't cheap either, but here's the situation. A lot of times, guys, you can go days and days without finding a bird, and that's just a fact, Jack.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why they call it hunting and not catching.
That's right.
Well, sometimes I just kill myself. So here's all this pans out. You got all these rules and regulations, and again, it gets a little confusing, but here's the deal. You should happen upon a herd of bird, and they go up. Just ride that trigger till that barrel turns white. Care it's a rooster, it's a hen, whatever. When in doubt, empty out, then reload and do it again. That's referred to as pulling a Menendez brother.
Oh, wow.
Now, above all else, and this is key, always make sure you're packing some cash. 20s, 50s, a crisp 100 or 2 doesn't hurt, because I got to tell you what, if I happen upon you, I cross your path, it's going to be a whole lot simpler to shred a little cheddar Ranger Dan's way than having to relinquish your weapons, your vehicles, your dogs, your clothing, your jewelry, and pretty much anything else you got with you than spending a couple nights in the dark, dank bowels of Ranger Dan's fortress or Ranger Toot, if you know what I'm saying. So happy hunting, get it done. This is Ranger Dan. Out! Say it with me.
Yes, sir.
Nobody wants to buy car insurance. It's not a fun thing to think about, but it's something you need if you want to drive your car. So even if you don't want to buy insurance, you probably have to get it from someone. So why not buy it from InsuranceChicken.com? Okay, I'll admit, our website name is dumb. InsuranceChicken.com. Yeah, our marketing department is not that great. But our selection of insurance options is amazing. See if we can save you money each month on our dumb website, InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com. Time now for Water Cooler Talk with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by Lukewarm Tap Water.
Tap water.
Go back to that. We tried so hard.
I like tap water.
It is.
I have a bunch of it in my house.
We just gotta get used to it.
I have a bunch of tap water in my
I do.
If you would like to be the sponsor of this segment,
Run around with a cup or a glass.
I know. Is that great?
There it is.
There it is. It's always there.
Right
I
here.
know. It's
I have
fantastic.
tap water.
That is fantastic.
And drink some while you're talking.
All right, this is, let's serious up here. We've been working hand in hand, and I know, John, you have for a number of years with Faith Temple Church and the food giving.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
people are awesome.
It's such an amazing mission, and they just keep stepping up to the plate, man, and it's just a very, very cool thing.
Egg cartons to take to them on Friday.
Yeah, egg cartons, they need those and a bunch of other stuff, but this little press release just crossed the desk, and here we go. This Friday,
Yeah.
every now and again, they need something, and they don't ask often, but this is for the general public. Gardening's a big deal in this town.
Yeah.
They're in need of produce.
Yeah.
for September 26th and 25th for the food giveaway. If you could bring your excess produce to share with those in need, Heidi, that would be
I know where this is
You
going.
can bring it on Friday mornings after 8 o'clock, the Nordstrom Johnson building at the W.H. Lyons Fairgrounds building nearest to the Madison Street entrance. Now, our own Heidi, the Smalls bought a new house they didn't like about a year ago.
We love the house. We just
They hated everything about it and said, "Where do we sign?" And then proceeded to gut it. But at a last-minute addition, Heidi decided she was a farmer.
We had one heck of a garden.
It's a nice garden.
It is.
So join Heidi this Friday. She'll be bringing her 3 cherry tomatoes and what she claims is a cucumber.
I don't think it is, though.
The jury's still out.
Yes.
It's
a half a cucumber.
This time of year, because I know a lot of people you see posts on Facebook. They spent the entire weekend canning and putting up. So if you've got it. Well, Heidi didn't.
She has not.
Heidi has not had to watch a single YouTube tutorial on canning or harvesting, for that matter.
Her corn is still the size of a pencil. The stalk is the size of a pencil right now.
It's not like she needs seasonal farm labor to help her out back there. But she gave it a good shot. So, again, the Faith Temple Church food giveaway in need of produce. So whatever you can spare, whipped by the fairgrounds anytime after 8 o'clock. It's Friday. That'd be awesome.
You going to do that, Heidi? Do you got some stuff?
I have a plethora of tomatoes.
Let's go pick them tomatoes on Thursday, and we'll deliver those out there Friday. How far ahead do you pick a tomato before it's like eatable?
Tomatoes
edible?
are fine.
Why
Eatable?
why are you looking
Eatable.
at me?
Well, I'm sure as hell not going to look at her.
Only thing I've ever grown is old.
You're a great rhubarb farmer.
Oh, yeah, you are Farmer
That
Dan.
rhubarb came with the house.
That's right.
That was there, man. That was grandfathered in, if you know what I mean.
I do, and it's funny.
Oh, wow. In all seriousness, if you do have a garden and maybe you have a bunch of tomatoes or a bunch of cucumbers or a bunch of produce of any kind, and you're saying, hey, I have all this stuff and I've left bags of this on my neighbor's porch and they just keep bringing it back because I got too much, that would be a great thing.
It would.
Take it to Faith Temple
well used
this Friday in the morning at the fairgrounds. I actually shared this press release Dan's reading from. I shared it on our Facebook page yesterday, so you can find it if you scroll back on our Facebook page. Dan, thank you for that update, sir.
Yeah, that was fun. And Heidi, seriously, I know we mock you, but it's only because, well, honestly, you brought it on yourself.
Yeah, you really kind of did.
But really, all respect.
Did we have a tattoo that we're going to announce today too?
Oh, I'm sorry. Christy Smith has won a Sunny tattoo from Alien Company. Yeah, we'll be getting together next week over at Alien and getting that done.
This is the thing I think is really cool about that. Christy Smith has the original Sunny tattoo.
She does. This will be her second.
You know what? You weren't even here when Dan and I chose this, but she was Sunny tattoo number 3. Guess what? She's going to be new Sunny tattoo number 3.
Number 3 for the new one.
For new Sunny. So she'll be 153.
Yeah. So,
total
Christy,
sweet.
You are awesome because you're 3 and 3, which is awesome.
Nice.
Well, very, very nice. Dan, we will have you back with some entertainment news here in just a moment. Thank you for listening. We got some good news to get to. That's on the way on the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. The new way is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-659-7805. That's 800-659-7805.
Time now for our bright spot of news, brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. And today we shine our bright spot of news on the Soroptimists Club, celebrating their 80th anniversary. And I've got Carol Schuckert joining me. Carol, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And October is kind of a special month for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, October is Founders Month, and our club was chartered in October, so it's perfect.
So we're sneaking right up on a really special month for the Soroptimist Club, but let's talk about what you guys do, because I guarantee you there's at least somebody listening that has never heard of this group before. So let's kind of educate and inform people what the Soroptimist Club does.
Okay. Well, the first question we're always asked is, what does it mean? And Soroptimist means the best for women. Our club began in 1940 as a classification service club because women were not allowed to enter service clubs like the Rotary. So we created a service club for professional and executive business women. We offered the same opportunities for service and networking. Now we're a global volunteer organization. Soroptimists International of Sioux Falls welcomes everyone that's interested in fostering our mission, which is to provide women and girls with access to education and training they need to achieve economic empowerment. That's a long one, right?
That is, but that's really cool. And I think it's neat that, 80 years ago when, the other clubs were not open, that somebody said, let's do our own club. I think that's really, really cool.
Right. Yeah, the club itself, I think, is scheduling their 100th birthday soon. I think it's next year, but we'll forget about that. Okay, so that's what Soroptimists do. We're a service organization. We work with all sorts of different agencies in Sioux Falls and in the state. We have started our own programs. In 1947, Soroptimists began sponsoring Venture Club, which is an organization for young business and professional women. They're concerned about the community and they desire to take part in its development. So our local venture club was active until 2007. And then most of those members came into Soroptimists.
Now, for somebody listening that may have an interest in this and saying, wow, I hadn't heard of this, but it sounds like it's right up my alley and this would be really good for me, or maybe they're thinking this would be really cool for my daughter. How does somebody get involved, and is it fairly simple to get involved?
Sure. There's a website that's Soroptimist.net, or you can look on our Facebook page for Soroptimists International of Sioux Falls.
Nice.
If you've heard of the Toy Lending Library of South Dakota, that's a project that their club started, and now they are independent and they have their own 501c, and they're doing wonderfully. We've helped out with Children's Miracle Network, Girl Scouts, UNESCO, UNICEF, Children's Inn, Teddy Bear Den, Make-A-Wish. Our club is the one that stuffs the backpacks for Hot Harley Nights.
That's really cool. You guys do a lot of stuff. And if people would like to get involved, I'm going to throw a link to the website to make it easy for them to find you. And you said you're also on Facebook, so they can find you there. Carol, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about this, and happy anniversary to you.
Okay. Oh, can I make one more sentence, John?
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole purpose of this is to ask former Soroptimists and Venture members and any interested listeners to contact that information, the contact information general, because we'd like to invite them to join the Zoom celebration, but we need their emails.
Nice. So if they're interested, they reach out, and I'll throw a link on our page on Facebook to make it easy to find, but they reach out and just say, hey, I'd like to be a part of this 80th anniversary celebration, and it's all done through Zoom, so they can do it from wherever they happen to be. So even if you know somebody who was a member, but now they moved away and they live in a different state, they could still be a part of this too.
Perfect. And you can leave my phone number and name if you'd like.
Carol, thank you so much.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Again, Carol is with the Soroptimist Group. They're celebrating 80 years in Sioux Falls, and I think that's just a really cool thing. I've got a link to all of the information on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
If you take Viagra or Cialis, call now with your prescription and pay as little as $2 a pill. Call Pharmacy Shop 24/7 to get generic versions of Viagra or Cialis for as little as $2 a pill, plus free discreet shipping.
Call 800-2 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. 800-214-7977. Again, that's 800-214-7977.
Time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are fabulous. But you know, kids and kittens.
Oh, no.
What?
That's a Carol Baskin thing.
Sometimes you're a celebrity for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Carol Baskin.
Oh, John, I kind of like Carol Baskin, and I just wish you'd keep her out of our conversations.
No, thank you.
All there is to it.
Too down to my
Such
personal
a Baskin
affairs.
thing to say.
It was 40 years ago that a young man named Mark David Chapman pulled up on John Lennon in New York City outside the Dakota Hotel and emptied a revolver into him.
First, he had him sign a book.
Well, he was actually a big fan, and that's all there was to it, and he was kind of demented. Well, I'll get into that in just a minute, John.
Okay. I'll be quiet over here then.
But in the last 40 years, Mark David, he's been up for parole 10 times.
Okay.
Denied every single time. And the reason I bring this up is a couple
He's
months
up for
ago, he
parole
was up for
again?
parole for time number 11. Denied.
He'll never get out.
Denied.
Killed a beetle.
40 years is a long time, and he was talking, to you have a little panel there of parole people, experts, whatnot, and David was just saying at the time, my thinking was that he has all this money, lives in this beautiful apartment, and he's into music representing kind of a more cautious lifestyle, a more giving lifestyle, and it made me angry and jealous compared to the way I was living at the time. So it was a class warfare thing, basically.
Wow. Right.
So,
here's the thing.
yeah, he said it was...
I mean, I can see how that might anger some people when you're
wrong answer,
saying one thing and then doing another thing. You're
Wrong way to
telling other
respond.
people, you live like this, but I don't have to.
Then he ended it with this. It was just self-glory, period. It was nothing more than that. It boiled down to that. There's no excuses
absolutely
for what
not.
I did.
No, absolutely
Correct.
not.
Here's the thing. If he were out on parole, let's just say that, hey, parole board said, yeah, you're out. He would be tracked down and killed by someone. You know he would, because there are so many fans of the Beatles. I think it's for his own safety that they're leaving him in there. I don't think he'll ever get out.
If they hustled him out a back door, I don't think anybody would ever
I mean, you wouldn't know who he was by looking at him, and I'm sure they would give him an assumed name and he'd go somewhere else. There's no way he looks the same way he did when that happened. So he'd probably be fine.
I just think it's, I don't know. I'll be quiet
so
over
just
here.
a sad story all the way. I just thought that update was interesting.
It is interesting.
So,
He must be in a state where they didn't have the death penalty.
He's in New York, Heidi. That's
Yeah,
where that happens.
they must not have the death penalty.
if he just fakes COVID, they'll boot him.
Oh, hey,
That's
here you go.
true.
All right. Are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
We're wrapping up here. It's kind of awkward.
I was done about 5
been
minutes
done.
ago.
Well, Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, sorry I don't have any Carol Baskin news for you.
I was waiting for that.
I'll work on it.
All right. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
Jobs.
If you have a credit card, our friends at BetterCreditCards.com would like to make sure it's the best credit card for you. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and then see what you get for points and perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you save money by getting a better credit card. Even if you don't have a credit card right now, you can check it out too at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com. Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, September 24th, 2020. The major indices reversed Tuesday's gains, posting massive losses across the board. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite shed more than 3% by the end of the day, with heavy losses in the FANG names. Even so, the technical picture continues to show signs of bottoming as the third quarter earnings season gets underway. Wednesday's action failed to set new lows, and the indicators reveal underlying market strength through divergence. Divergence is an important term for technical analysts. When momentum indicators like MACD or stochastic fails to make a new high or a new low along with the underlying market, it's very telling. In the case of new highs, a divergence is a sign of underlying weakness that can lead to pullback or correction. In the case of new lows, divergence is a sign of underlying market strength and the potential for bottoming. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at MarketBeatMinute.com.